Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Genius Knowledge Point, your go-to place for practical programming solutions for diploma, computer and IT students. If you are stuck on any practical assignment or just want to learn how to solve programs step by step, then you are in the right place. The main purpose of making this video is to provide practical knowledge to all diploma students so that they can develop their own programs which will be helpful for their future. Now in this video we are going to see the next practical, that is practical number 11 of object oriented programming, which is under Diploma Computer and IT semester 3rd, and it is for K scheme, that is the latest scheme. And this practical is about single level inheritance and multi-level inheritance. So before going to actual question, we will see what is inheritance and we will see the levels of inheritance. So let us move to the diagram. So suppose we have a class A, and inside that class we have some member variables as var1 and var2, and there are some functions as function 1 and function 2 which are already present inside your class. So that is a class A. And suppose you want to create one more class and which is having similar properties like var1 and var2, function 1 and function 2, which is having same properties, and but additionally it is having extra variable, that is var3, and it is having one more function, that is function 3. So in that case what we will do, we can use the concept of inheritance, because if you are not using inheritance, then what will happen, we have to define class B, and inside that we have to take three variables, that is var1, var2 and var3, and plus additionally we have to take function 1, function 2 and function 3. So that coding part will be very lengthy, and what will happen, we have to organize it properly, then only we can understand it and use it properly. But what happens in case of inheritance, if you have one class already present inside your system or inside your application, you can directly reuse it to another class. What we can do, we can use the previously created class as it is and create a new class which is having very less coding part, because using the inheritance we are getting all the properties of one class into second class. So that's why inheritance is playing very important role in the programming, and it is very important concept in any programming language. So that's why we are going to use inheritance here. So the class from which we have inherited the second class, that is called parent class or subclass or base class. All the three classes are same, that is the parent class is same as superclass, as same as base class, and the class which is inheriting the properties, it is called child class or subclass or derived class. So all the three names are same, it is representing the same class. So in this case what we are doing here, inside class B, as we are inheriting properties of class A, so what B will have, B will have variable 3 from its own, but it will have variable 1 and variable 2 inherited from class A. So inside B we will have three variables, that is variable 1, variable 2 and variable 3. Similarly B will have function 1, function 2 and function 3. So while designing or while coding for B, we will be coding for only these two parts, and the another part, that is variable 1, variable 2 and function 1, function 2, that will be inherited from class A. So inside B we will be doing very less coding. So this is how the reusability of classes works, and it is done by inheritance only. So the names are given here, and if you see, there is a single class A and it is inherited by class B. So this is called single level inheritance. Single inheritance. So whenever one class is inheriting another class properties, it is called single inheritance. And now if I am adding one more class here below B, and again it is inheriting the properties of B, then what will happen? It will become multi-level inheritance. That is, the class A will be inherited by class B and class B will be inherited by class C. So the B will have properties of A and C will have properties of B and A. So this is called multi-level inheritance. So both the inheritance we have to do in this practical. So let us move to the question. So the first question is, write a program to implement inheritance shown below in figure. Assume suitable member function. So this is the figure which is given in the question, and inside that we have given the upper class as a class furniture. Inside data members are given as material and price. So this will be our parent class, and below that we have a class, that is class table, which is having data members height and surface. So this will be our subclass or child class, and this is our parent class. So let us go to the coding part. We will be designing, or we will be defining first furniture class, then we will inherit that furniture into table class. So moving to the coding part. So initially we have to include both the header files, that is iostream.h and conio.h, and as given in the figure we have to design a class furniture. So class name, that is class furniture. Then inside that I am declaring one integer variable, that is price, which is given in the diagram. So price and material, these are given in the diagram as a data member. So integer price I am declaring, then material will be having string value, so that's why I am taking array of characters. So this is the data members. Then after that I am opening a public section. Here if you see, no access specifier is mentioned. So by default all the members of class are declared as private. So these are the private members of the class, because no access specifier is given in that, so that's why they are private. Then inside public section I am designing a function, that is void accept, to accept the data which is entered by user. So entering the message, that is enter material of furniture, then using scene accepting into material, then second enter the furniture price, using scene accepting the price. So the accept method is accepting price and material of the furniture. Then similarly we are designing the display method to display the output. So the furniture material is displayed and furniture price is displayed. So we have to change it here, price. So this is the display method. Finally the class is closed. Now our furniture class is ready, so we can create an object of furniture class, but the question is given, we have to inherit that furniture class into table class. So for that purpose we will be designing one more class, that is class table. So the class table is inheriting the properties of furniture. So in this statement we have to do inheritance. So how I am doing it? Class, then class name, which is the derived class name, then we have to attach colon, and after that we have to attach the access specifier, that how we want to inherit the superclass. So that is public, I want to inherit it public, and after that you have to add the superclass name, so that is furniture. So this is how the inheritance statement is done. So class name, then colon, access specifier and superclass name. So in this statement the compiler will understand that the class table is inheriting all the properties of furniture. And what is the meaning of this public? That means all the members are taken as it is. So the private members will be the private members for table, public members will be public members for table. So that will be the structure of table class. So inside the table class, as given in the diagram, we have to include their data members, that is height and surface. So as given in the diagram, we have to add height and surface to the table class. So we are declaring it, height will be in integer format and surface will be in string format. So that's why it is a array of characters. Again I am declaring the public section. Inside that I am designing one more function, that is get data, and this get data function will be accepting data for table variables only. So that is height and surface. So as we have inherited the table from furniture, if you see the members of furniture class are already present inside this table class. They are not visible, but they are inherited here. So you can have price, material, height and surface as a member variables here inside table class. And similarly, the accept and display functions are also present here inside a table class because they are inherited by table class. So then the get data function is there. Inside that I am just accepting the height and surface of the table and storing their values into their respective variables. Then after that I am calling the put data function to display the height and surface of table. So that will be the output statement. So the put data function is displaying the output. Finally the table class is closed. Though the members of furniture class are not visible here, but they are present here. We can call them in the main. So now next, moving to the main function. So void main, inside that I am taking object of table class as given in the question. We have to create the object of child class. You can create object of parent class also, but it is not asked, so that's why I am creating the object of table. So table T, so T is the object name. Now T will be having functions of parent class as well as its own functions. So we can call T.accept, which is inherited by table from furniture. Similarly, we can call T.getData, which is its own method. Then after that T.display, which is inherited by furniture, and after that T.putData, which is its own method. So this is how we are calling all the methods of table class which are present or which are inherited by furniture. So these two methods are inherited by furniture and these two methods are of table class. So this is how inheritance works. And finally getch is there, and as the main function is having void return type, we don't have to return anything. Main is closed here. So I am just selecting all, copying the code, going to compiler, pasting the code and running the code. So it is asking me to enter the material of furniture. So I am just putting steel, furniture price 5000, and height of the table 3 feet. So surface of the table I have to take as round. So all the details are accepted and these are displayed as it is. So it is displaying the material, price, then height of the table and surface of the table as we have entered there. So this is how the inheritance has worked. We have created one class, that is surface class. Then after that we have inherited that class into table class. Then we have called surface methods inside table class as well as table methods also. So this is how the question is done. Now moving toward the second question, that is write a C++ program to define a class employee having data members EMP number, EMP name and EMP designation. Derive a class salary from employee having data members basic, HRA, DA and gross salary. Accept and display data for one employee. So we have to create a class employee. Inside that we have to create some variables, that is a employee number, EMP name and EMP designation. So first we will design a class employee first, then we will take a salary class and that will inherit the employee class, and inside the salary its variables are given, plus additionally it will have employee attributes also. So let us see in the coding. So initially you have to include the header files, then after that the definition of class employee started. Inside that I am taking EMP int EMP number, so employee number, that is in integer format. Employee name and employee designation will be having string value, so that's why I am taking it as array of characters. And there is no access specifier mentioned, that means these variables are private variables. Then after that public section is opened. Inside that I am just creating an accept function. So inside that putting the message, enter the name of employee using scene, accepting into EMP name. Similarly employee number and employee designation is accepted. So name, employee number and designation values are accepted using accept function. And after accept, design the display function. Inside that, displaying all the three values, that is EMP name, EMP number and EMP designation. So this is just a printout message. After that, the class is closed. Now we have to design a second class, that is class salary, which is inheriting employee class. So as we have seen in the previous example, the inheritance statement will be like this: class, derived class name, then colon, then access specifier. I want to inherit using public access specifier, that's why I am adding public here, and super class name. So this is the super class, this is the subclass. So this is how the salary has inherited the employee's properties. So additionally, as given in the question, we have to include the salary's properties, that is basic salary, so that I am taking as an integer variable. Then other variables are HRA, DA and gross salary, that I am taking into float data type. So that will be the private section of this salary class. And additionally, it will be having employee number, employee name and employee designation as variables, which are inherited from employee class. So next, I am opening a public section. Inside that, I am designing get data function to accept these values. So as these values are calculated, we just have to accept the basic salary. So HRA, DA and gross salary will be calculated from basic salary. So we don't have to accept HRA, DA and gross salary. That will be the calculation part. So inside get data, I am just putting message to enter basic salary and accepting the basic salary here. So get data function is done. And after that, to display the all details, I am designing put data function. So put data function, inside that I am just using a random formula to calculate HRA. So that will be 74% of basic. So 74.5 into basic, that is the numerator, divided by 100.00. This is the typecasting part. Then DA is also calculated as 15% of basic. Then gross salary will be addition of basic plus HRA plus DA. So this is the gross salary. And finally, I am putting all the details in the cout statement. So basic salary is printed, HR is printed, DA is printed and gross salary is printed. So put data is calculating gross salary and putting all the details. So this is the output of put data function. And finally, salary class is ended here. And next we will move to the main function. So inside main function, I am creating object of salary. So that is salary S. Then I am running the accept function for salary, which is inherited from employee. So when I am running the accept function, what will happen? It will ask me to enter the name of employee. Then employee name will be accepted. It will ask to enter employee number. Number will be accepted and designation will be accepted. So this is the function which is inherited from employee class. Then I am running the s.getData. So I am running getData function. So this will ask me to enter a basic salary of employee and it will be accepted into basic variable. Similarly, I am calling the display function, which is inside employee class, but which is inherited into salary. So it will display the employee name, employee number and designation for salary class, salary object, that is S. And finally, I am calling put data function. So it will display all the details with calculation. So this is how the object is calling all the methods of parent class as well as its own methods. So finally, closing the program with get ch, and the main function is ended. So selecting all, then copying it, going to compiler, pasting it there, and running the code. So it is first asking me to enter the name of employee. I'm just putting ABCD. Then employee number, it is asking. I'm putting 4545. Designation, it is asking. So I'm entering programmer. Then salary of employee, I'm entering 50,000. So as we have entered all the details, it has run the display function and output is displayed. So the name is displayed, number is displayed, designation is displayed, basic salary is displayed. This is the calculation part, that is HRA, DA and gross salary. So all the details are calculated and displayed in front of the user. So this is how we have completed the second question. Now moving toward the next question, that is under practical related questions. Write a C++ program to define a class student having data members, roll number, name. Derive a class marks from student having data members M1, M2, M3, total and percentage. Accept and display data for one student. So first what we have to do, we have to define a class student which is having roll number and name as variables, and we have to derive that class into marks, and it is having M1, M2, M3, total and percentage. These are the variables for marks class. So after that we have to do some calculation and calculate percentage and display that for the marks. So it is similar to the second question of exercise, which is having employee and salary details. So we will move to the coding part directly. Let us see how to define code for this. So initially we have to include both the header files. Then I am designing the parent class, that is class student. Inside that I am taking roll number as integer variable and name as the string variable, which is array of characters. And as the access specifier is not defined, these are the private members of student class. Then opening the public section, inside that taking one function as accept, and inside that entering the message to enter name of student, accepting the name, then entering the message to enter roll number, accepting the roll number. So both the name and roll numbers are accepted using this accept function. Then after that moving to the display function, and inside that just printing both the values, that is name and roll number. So display will be printing both the values, name and roll number. Display function is complete and the class is complete. Now we have to inherit that student class into another class, that is marks class. So as we have seen in the previous examples, how to inherit it: class, class name, that is subclass name, colon, access specifier and super class name. So class marks, which is given in the question, I am taking it as public access, and the parent class, that is student. So all the properties of student will be inherited into marks class, including roll number, name and both the functions. So next we have to design something inside the marks that is given in the question. M1, M2, M3 and total. These are the marks and total that will be calculated part. So I am taking all the variables as integer variable. Then percentage is also there, which will be the float variable. And all the variables are inside private section, as there is no section defined. Then public section is opened. I am designing get data function. So inside get data I am just accepting all the marks, that is M1, M2 and M3, using message and scene statement. So all the marks are accepted here. Then moving toward the put data function. So inside put data we have to display the details, that is percentage and other details. So for that purpose we have to calculate something. So first we have to calculate the total. The total will be addition of M1, M2 and M3. So total is calculated. Then we have to put the formula for percent. The percent will be total divided by 300 into 100. So for the numerator part I will be taking total into 100 and putting brackets there. So that will be the numerator part, and dividing it with 300.00. This is the implicit typecasting. So the total answer will be float value, and it will be stored into percent variable. So the percent are done. Finally I have to put the percent in front of the user. So that is test percent are percent. So that is the attachment of percent variable in front of the string. So finally the put data function is closed and marks class is complete. Now moving toward the main function, that is int main. Then inside that I am just putting CLR SCR to clear the output screen. Then I am creating one object of marks class, that is marks m. Then after that I am calling accept method using m object, that is m.accept. What it will do, it will run this code, that is it will accept name and roll number of student. Then after that I am calling get data function, so that will accept the marks of M1, M2 and M3. So the get data will accept marks and accept method will accept roll number and name. Then I am calling the display method. So display function will display the name and roll number, and finally I am calling put data function. So it will calculate the total, calculate the percent and display the percent of that student. So this is how all the functions are called. And finally adding the get ch statement, that is to hold the output screen, and finally entering return 0 as main is having integer return type. So the code is complete for this program. So selecting all, copying the code, moving to the compiler, taking new file, pasting the code here and running the code. It is asking me to enter the name of student. I'm just putting PQRS, then entering the roll number of student, so 8989, then marks of subject 1, marks of subject 2 and marks of subject 3. And after entering all the 3 marks, it has displayed the name and roll number, which is the method inherited from first class, that is student class, and it has displayed the percentage, which is the calculated part, and it has displayed it using float format because we have done typecasting here. So all the details is accepted properly and displayed properly. So this is how we have completed the first question of practically related questions. Now moving towards the next question, that is second question of practical related questions. So write a C++ program to implement following multi-level inheritance. The diagram is given here. So there is a one class given, that is class person, then second class is given as employee, and third class is given as programmer. So if you see the diagram, employee class is inheriting the person class and programmer is inheriting the employee class. So if you see, as we have seen in the diagram, that one class is inheriting another class, then that class is again inherited to third class. So this is called multi-level inheritance. So according to diagram, let us see how to generate the coding for this. And the data members are given as, for person, name, gender and age is given. So we will move to the coding part and design person class first. So initially we have to include both the header files, and I am designing or defining the person class, that is class person. Inside that I am taking age, that is integer variable, name and gender as given in the diagram. So name, gender and age is given. So I am taking those variables as a member variables. Age will be inside integer format, the name and gender will be having string format. Then after that, opening the public section and creating accept function. So inside accept function I am just accepting all the values, that is enter the name of person, it is accepted into name, then age will be accepted and gender will be accepted. So all the 3 values are accepted here using accept function. Then next, creating display function. So this function will be displaying all the values, that is person name, person age and person gender, and the respective values will be displayed here. So the display function is complete. Then closing the person class. So the person class is complete now. Again moving toward the diagram. Now see the second class. Second class is employee class, which is inheriting person, and it is having EMP-ID, company and salary. So that will be the structure for employee. So now we are designing employee class. As the employee is inheriting person, we have to use inheritance here. So a class, then class name, which is derived class name employee, colon, then access specifier, I am inheriting it publicly, so public, and super class name, that is person. So all the properties of person will be inherited into employee. So inside employee we have to add its own variables, that is EMP-ID, which is integer, salary, it is float, and company name, which is string, set of characters. So after that I am opening public section and creating get data function. So the get data function is accepting EMP-ID, that is employee ID, company and salary. So all the values are accepted here. We have to remember that whenever we are inheriting the properties of parent class into child class, we have to consider the names properly, because if you see the name here is the accept function, and if you design the accept function here, it will override or replace the previous function that is inherited from parent. So that's why you have to take a different name. That's why I have taken get data name. Similarly, for put data, I have taken the different name which is different from display. So inside put data, I am just displaying all the details, that is EMP ID, then salary and company. So it is displayed using the cout and attachment of strings. The put data function is complete, and finally employee class is complete. So again, moving toward the diagram. So both the classes are complete. Person class is done, employee class is created properly. Now it is time to create third class, that is programmer, which is inheriting employee class. So moving toward the coding part. So the class definition will be class programmer colon, then access specifier. I am again taking public access specifier and parent class name, that is employee. So programmer is subclass of employee and employee is a subclass of person. So this is how the structure will be. So inside the class, I am taking the given variable which is given as number of programming languages known. So the same variable I am taking here, number of programming language known. So I am taking it as an integer because it is an integer variable. It will be having number value. So again, I am putting public section. Inside that, I am taking one more function to accept this value, that is get function. If you see, again I have taken the different name. So initially accept function is taken, then get data function is taken. So I am taking different name as a get function name. So get function is accepting the number of programming languages known with the help of message and cin statement. So the get function is complete. After that, I have to call the put function. So designing the put function, I am just displaying the number of programming languages known, which is the variable of programmer class. So if you see the structure, inside programmer there is no other variable defined, but it is present there because we have inherited all the properties of person and employee into programmer. So it will be having all the variables of person as well as employee, which are not displaying here but they are present there. So this is how the programmer class is complete. Finally, it is time to create the main function, that is void main, clearing the output screen. Now creating the object of programmer class, that is programmer P. So P will be having all the properties of person as well as employee. First, calling the accept method, what it will do? It will accept the name, age and gender of the person. So that will be run for programmer. Then calling the second method, that is get data function, which is inside employee class. So it will be accepting employee ID, company name and employee salary. So that will be accepted using this function. And then calling the get function, which is its own function to accept the number of programming languages known. So all the data is accepted here using three different functions. Then it is time to display all the data. So first I am calling p.display. What it will do? It will display the name, age and gender. Then calling put data function. The put data function will be displaying employee ID, company and salary details, and finally p.put. So this function will be displaying number of languages known to the programmer. So this is how we have called a accept get data and get to accept all the data for programmer, and called display put data and put functions to show all the data for programmer object. So this is how all the details will be displayed. Finally get ch is there to hold the output screen, and the main function is closed. So copying all the code, going to compiler, pasting it here and running the code. So it is asking me to enter the name of the person. I am just putting PQRS, then age of the person, just entering 28, then gender of the person is a male, employee ID, putting a number, then company name, putting ABCD, and finally employee salary, so entering 20,000, and the number of programming languages known, that is also required, so entering 4. So all the details is accepted in these statements, and finally all the display or showing functions are run here. So the name is displayed, age is displayed, gender is displayed, that is inside one function, then employee ID, company name and salary, that is inside another function, and finally the number of programming languages, that is third function is run. So this is how we have accepted the details and we have displayed the details for the child class, which is using multi-level inheritance. So this is how we have completed all the questions of practical number 11, and we have done single level inheritance and multi-level inheritance, and this is how the practical 11 is ended. So that's it for today's practical. I hope this helped you understand the solution clearly. Code for this practical is available at the link given in the description. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel for more such diploma level programming solutions. If you have any doubts or need solutions for other programs, drop a comment below. I will be happy to help, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching and happy coding.